country witnessed more than 50 COVID-19 deaths for the third consecutive day yesterday, while the number of cases registered an all-time high at nearly 9,000 positive cases. The worsening COVID-19 scenario only indicates that the countrymen need to be more vigilant in our fight against coronavirus with foolproof safety protocols. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. The country records 50-plus COVID-19 deaths for the third consecutive day, also records the highest single-day surge with 8,970 cases. Even as the government claims a 50% availability of intensive care units and ventilators, private hospitals say they have run out of essential facilities. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli finds number game not in his favor. The opposition caught between the Premier's gambit and own strategy. And Manchester United defeat Roma 8-5 on aggregate, and Villarreal take care of Arsenal 2-1 on aggregate to reach the Europa League final. The COVID-19 scenario is looking frightening with every passing day as the country reported the highest daily positive cases yesterday with 8,970 cases. The country also witnessed 50-plus COVID-19 deaths for the third consecutive day yesterday with 54 deaths. Meanwhile, the country recorded over 8,000 cases of COVID-19 for the second consecutive day with 20,367 samples tested through the PCR method. Kathmandu Valley alone registered 3,972 new cases yesterday. According to the Health Ministry, there are 72,561 active cases at the moment, while 314 individuals are in various quarantine centers across the country. Meanwhile, 2,707 individuals have registered full recovery, taking the total recoveries to 292,490. The recovery rate has dropped to 79.4%. According to the Health Ministry, 652 patients are receiving treatment at intensive care units, while 201 are on ventilator support. As the country experiences a massive surge in COVID-19 cases, hospitals are reportedly overwhelmed with patients needing critical care. On the contrary, the government data reveal that there are still over 50% intensive care units and ventilators available in hospitals across the country. The public, meanwhile, have been deprived of health services amid such conflicting data. We have more in this report.
There are 8 ventilators and 15 intensive care units in Sethi Provincial Hospital of Sudur Pashchim Province. However, with the increasing number of COVID cases, the hospital is running out of these facilities. The situation is no different in other major hospitals, including Koshi COVID Special Hospital in Biratnagar and Sukhraraj Tropical and Infectious Disease in Teku, Kathmandu, as they have been experiencing similar shortfall of essential facilities. In Kathmandu Valley alone, 187 patients are receiving treatment at intensive care units, while 83 are on ventilator support. Big hospitals, including both government and private, across the country are overwhelmed with patients receiving treatment with such facilities. Unfortunately, several incidents have been reported where patients lost their lives without getting admitted at the hospital. On the contrary, latest update of the Health Ministry shows that more than 50% intensive care units and ventilator supports are still accessible across the country. According to the latest update of the ministry, 652 patients are receiving treatment at intensive care units, while 201 are on ventilator supports, while 754 ICUs and 365 ventilator supports are available. However, the government has neither provided the actual figure regarding the availability of these facilities, nor it has monitored the on-field situation at hospitals. Experts opine that the government should come up with genuine data to prove its claim, should launch proper investigations and take action against faulty hospitals for depriving basic health care to patients.
Businesses in Kailali have been involved in black marketing of oxygen amid its acute shortage in the district. Hospitals in Sudur Pashchim province are witnessing acute shortage of oxygen as the number of COVID-19 cases in the province registered a massive surge in recent days. It has been found that traders were involved in black marketing during the monitoring conducted by the local administration. It was reported that owner of Dhangadi-based Amit drug distributor had procured 250 oxygen cylinders in the province. However, only 50 full cylinders and 11 empty cylinders were found from its warehouse. Likewise, owner of Amit drug distributor Dushyant Basnet was earlier accused of recovering tender by forging documents. Likewise, the administration has stepped up surveillance on the suspicion of black market, as the only industry, Mallika oxygen industry, has not been able to supply the oxygen as per its capacity. At a time when Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has summoned the special session of the House of Representatives to win a confidence vote, opposition parties have not come up with a clear stand on whether to oust Premier Oli by registering a no-confidence motion or thwart his attempt to win a confidence vote. Even as there is a chance for Prime Minister Oli to lead the minority government if he fails to win the confidence vote, the opposition parties are still divided over the issue. More in this report.
During his meeting with Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba on Wednesday, Prime Minister Oli hinted of midterm election if he fails to win confidence vote from the lower house. Premier Oli also urged the main opposition leader to give his consent for the midterm election, saying that the current parliament has failed to end the political stalemate. Prime Minister Oli had asked the opposition to withdraw their support to his government when they had voiced for no confidence motion during the previous session of the lower house. The opposition parties are now suspicious with the abrupt decision of the Prime Minister himself to seek confidence vote from the House of Representatives. They have been blaming Prime Minister Oli of planning for midterm election by forming a minority government provided he fails to win the confidence vote. Meanwhile, CPN Maoist Centre has been urging Nepali Congress to launch the no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister. However, the main opposition has been reiterating that they lack enough support to register the no-confidence motion. Political analysts, meanwhile, opine that the possibility of an alternative government cannot be ruled out, given that Nepal faction of the CPN-UML would stand against Premier Oli. In the meantime, clear political development is still awaited.
The Nepal Bird Conservation Association has said that out of 885 species of birds found in Nepal, there are 9 endangered species. In this context, in our public voice segment, we had asked bird conservationists in Pokhara what should be done for the conservation of endangered birds. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
संरक्षण गर्ने उपायहरू चाहिँ स्थानीय तहमा लैजानुपर्छ र त्यसमा चाहिँ स्थानीयहरूको चाहिँ सहभागिता गराउनुपर्छ।
तीनै तहको सरकारहरू अलि संरक्षणप्रति संवेदनशील भएर लाग्नुपर्छ।
शहरीकरण एकदम बढेको अवस्था छ, यसलाई चाहिँ न्यूनीकरण चाहिँ गर्नै पर्छ।
चराहरूलाई बस्ने ठाउँ राम्रोसँग उपलब्ध गराइदियो ताकि तिनीहरूको खानेकुराहरूमा यो पोइजनिङहरू विषादीहरू मिसाइदिएन भने चाहिँ तिनीहरूलाई धेरै कन्जर्भ गर्न सकिन्छ।
And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. And here's the question. Why is the private sector reluctant to fulfill its social responsibility at this time of the pandemic? Your options are A, no culture, B, no coordination from the government, and C, no laws. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news. Back home, Kathmandu Razors came back from a 2-0 deficit to stun Biratnagar FC 5-4 as Misoke Olumau struck a hat-trick in yesterday's Nepal Super League match. The 2 other goals for Kathmandu were struck by Stefan Binong and Chiring Gurung in the match played at the capital's Dasrit Stadium. For Biratnagar, the goal scorers were Pedro Manji with a brace and Edilaja Somid and Ranjit Thamal. After conceding 2 early goals, Kathmandu took a 3-2 lead at the end of the first half. Meanwhile, Misoke Olomau completed his hat-trick in the 68th minute. Earlier yesterday, Lalitpur City FC registered their first win of the ongoing Nepal Super League with a narrow 1-0 victory over Butwal Lumini FC. The decisive goal for Lalitpur City was scored by their foreign recruit, Nurlan Zahid. In the match played at the capital's Dasrat Stadium, Lalitpur began aggressively as they took an early lead through Nurlan Zahid's goal in the 5th minute. Nurlan produced a diving header off a cross by skipper Anjan Bista. The goal proved decisive as Lalitpur produced their first win in the tournament. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.